felicitations. That's it, I've opened the show. What have I got to do now?
Hey, well, there's something missing from the table. That's why you're opening the show.
What, the legs?
No.
What, the tabletop?
No.
Well, it wasn't the cocktails, was it?
No.
For who?
Andy.
Andy who?
Andy!
Oh, yeah. Where's he gone?
Where do you think?
Mock if you must, gentlemen, mock if you must. But they said, OK, do you want to sit at the table and open the show with Neil and Steve? Or would you rather sit over here and be surrounded by Boy Crazy? It took me about a second and a half to make up my mind, and here I am, surrounded by Boy Crazy. Morning, girls.
Good morning. Good morning.
How you doing?
Very well.
Right, we'll see your single a little later on. What's it called?
All you have to do.
Right, oh, this is Steve.
Hi, girls. I'm Steve, one of the stars of the show. Do you want to come and see a big car?
No.
Stephen.
This is Neil. This is Neil, who claims to be subtle.
Neil Subtle. Okay.
Good morning, ladies. How would you like to watch a nice cartoon a little later on? Scooby-Doo, Beetlejuice with me?
How about not? No. How about
Well, that's sorted you out, guys, hasn't it? Thank you, girls. I shall see you later. Walk with me over here. Yes. Sad lines to meet a young lady with whom a lot of men would like to spend a Saturday morning.
Oh, thank you,
See you,
Andy.
Rosalind.
Thank you, Andy. Yes, I'm very pleased to say we've got hairdresser of the year, Trevor Sorby, here, and what do you think we can do with his hair?
Well, it's very fine.
I can't do a thing with it, Trev.
Yeah, well, I don't think there's much hope here, to be
Not
quite
much
honest.
hope. Let's just brush it. Tell us what's on the show, then.
Thanks.
Let's pamper him.
Feel free, but if, you know, Boy Crazy wants to come over and do this as well, you know, you wouldn't find me objecting. This is what's on the programme between now and 11:25. At 9:35, our Scooby-Doo cartoon. That's called Doom Service. Look out for that. At 10:05, easily the most popular game show on kids' telly. Says here, Steve Johnson and Mousetrap at 10:05. At 10:25, Oxfam celebrate 50 years this year. They're 50 this year. Find out how they're celebrating with Neil at 10:25. At 10:30, The Ghost with the Most and The Talking Stomach. Beetlejuice, that's at 10:30. Two Unlimited were held off the #1 spot when they did their last single by Bryan Adams. Their new single, Twilight Zone, performed live at 10:45. At 11 o'clock, this bunch of weirdos, great video, are called Ouch. You can see the video at 11. 11:15, Sea Lions last week with Terry Nutkins. This week, Seals. Terry's been north of the border to Scotland to make a film for us about them. And at 11:25, your knees go wobbly. Make sure your video's set. It's Boy Crazy. But here's somebody who's not going to make your knees go wobbly, Steve Johnson.
Thank you very much. Now, have you got yourself a car engine, a windshield, a seat? Put them in your bedroom. In your bedroom, you probably get a... no, not the bedroom window, but actually in the bedroom, you probably get a clip round your ear from your dad. Mind you, if you spent about 2 years working on it, thousands of hours, thousands of pounds, and thousands of gallons of paint, you'll probably come up with something like that. Whoa. That is lovely! Put off the set with it. Now, this is my kind of motor, and it's driven by its inventor, Bill Carter. But if you want to switch off your engines and get out, you can join me up here. I tell you, it's not an easy thing to get out of, is it?
It's not too bad, though.
Now, what on earth had made you invent something like this?
Well, it's a good hobby.
Yeah.
You have a great time in the evenings working on cars. You've got a bit of design, bit of body work, bit of metal work, spraying it, wiring it up, and at the end of it, you just take it for a run.
It's lovely, isn't it? Well, what's it made out of?
Mainly, the mechanical side is of a Jaguar V12.
Yeah.
So I've got the V12 engine.
That's the engine down about. It's
The
huge
gearbox,
engine.
The suspensions are all in there. Everything I could possibly get to fit has gone in, and on top of which, I've made my own homemade fiberglass body.
So it's like a road car underneath, but this body on the top. So...
It's a road car anyway, really.
Yeah. So, I mean, how long did it take you to make something like this?
19 months, and that was about 2,000 hours working evenings and weekends.
And where? Have you got a shed?
Oh, no, I made it in my garage at home, which is a normal domestic garage.
So it's not a hangar, then?
No, you need one.
You need one to make this, innit? Now, this isn't the first car you've made, is it?
No, I've made a variety of other cars.
Yeah.
I started off with some early style street rods.
Well, we've got some pictures of that. That's your first one you made, yeah?
That's right, yeah. Back 20 years ago, I built that. They basically look like vintage cars with modern mechanicals and big engines in.
Kind of things that you think that you'd find in California when they're burning up the mile, yeah?
Where the weather's nice, yeah. And then after that, I went to build a car that looked just like an aeroplane.
Nice.
And I used that on the road every day for a year or so.
Beautiful, isn't it? So it's just a normal road car, because you've got actually a bit of a plane in this, haven't you, if you want to...
That's right.
Show us
The
down here.
canopy is from a RAF Tornado bomber. It's second-hand. It has been flown before. There's a few scratches, but it's fine for my purpose.
Well, how do you get something like that? You don't just get given it, do you?
No, I've got a friend in the aircraft industry, and he replaced this one with a new one, and let me have the old one.
That's a highly sophisticated car, because if you ever look inside, it's got this fantastic travel pilot. Now, explain this thing to me.
That's right. It's a computerised mapping system. It uses Ordnance Survey digital data, and inside the system there's a CD which contains just about the whole of the mapping for Great Britain that you'd normally need a whole set of maps for.
So you're saying if you had like 200 Ordnance Survey maps like we've got here, you could put those onto a CD that size, and that'd cover the whole of England. You could find yourself right.
The whole of Great Britain, and then you can navigate anywhere you like.
Well, let's have a look, see what it looks like, because we've put together roughly what this thing looks like when it's working. Now you can see.
That's right. There's a small video screen there, and the little white arrow is the position of the car.
Yeah.
And the map orientates itself so you're always travelling forwards, and you can find your way around. And as you get closer to your destination, the map scale increases.
So you never need to get lost.
Yeah, with a bit of luck.
That's fantastic. Now, is this car road legal?
It is, yeah. I drove here in it, so, I mean, it's got to be road legal. It's over 100 miles to get here.
Really? Mm-hmm. That's fantastic. And how fast is it?
It'll do 160.
That sounds even better. How much is it?
Well, if I was selling it, it would have to be about £85,000. But it's not for sale at the moment, anyway.
Well, I'll have to save up for a couple of years anyway. I wanted to buy it. Well, I've been working on my own model, so if you want to get into your car, I'm gonna challenge you to a race. Now,
right, I'll beat you.
This thing's taken me about 45 minutes to make, and it's cost me 70p. So if I bring it in here, this is my supercharged bike, and I'm going to challenge you to a race. So, why did you watch Scooby-Doo whilst we start our engine? On your mark, get set, go!
Yeah, there's more Scooby-Doo next week, of course, and we've got Beetlejuice still to come, and if you're very good, I'll let you watch Boy Crazy with me. Sorry, Steve. Didn't notice you there, mate.
You didn't notice me? I'm 6 foot tall, wear a loud suit and got an even louder gob. And you say you didn't notice me?
Well, you see, since I've met Michael, I'm a much calmer person now. Michael really understands me.
Oh, do you speak fish, do ya?
I think you're a bit jealous, Steve.
Eh?
You're a bit jealous of my little goldfish. That's sad. Nay, it's pathetic.
Well, I think talking to a goldfish is pathetic, Andy. I mean, they're dim, ain't they? Tell me a goldfish that's ever got to #1.
Just because he doesn't like mousetraps, Steve, I think that was rather cruel.
Doesn't like mousetrap. I hope you've choked on a fish,
Steve,
though.
man, Steve, all this negative vibe, it's not good for you. Chill out, relax, mellow, make friends with Michael, shake hands.
Shake.
All right, we'll wave at him then. Good, there we are. We're all friends now, so we can do the letters. Got any prizes for our lucky viewers this week?
Ah! Hey, this is all unnatural, you know. I've got some absolute beauties. I tell you what, in here, they're horrible, they're revolting, they're absolutely horrible, and they're revolting, and they're not very nice as well, because they are... They're balls! Yes, for each letter we read out, we'll be sending you one of these blur balls, because they're horrible, they're revolting, they're horribly revolting,
And they're not very nice indeed, yes. Thank you. We get the general idea. These are the requests for Steve's brains for this week. First one has come from somebody called Blah Blunk Pan.
Blah Blunk Pan sounds like a good friend of mine.
Thomas McLaren, his name is. He's from Norwich in Norfolk. 2 days ago, Steve, I was on the river in my boat. A pink elephant fell on my boat and asked for my brains. I'm such a very, very nice man. I said yes, but now I don't have one, so can I have a tin of your brains? You can. You'll get a blip ball as well. Thank you. Scott Davis has written from Swansea in Wales. He sent you actually money, Steve.
Money?
Yes, French francs. So you can go to France and please can I have a tin of brains?
Yep.
Fine,
And you can have a blurt ball.
Don't send him real money, though, will you? You see, the right idea. Peter Clark's got the right idea from County Down. Dear Steve, I watch Motormouth every Saturday. I think Mousetrap is the best show on the road.
Sounds good.
Please can I have a tin of brains? I've actually sent you some play money here, and rather appropriate, this is from the Bank of Princess Susie.
Yep, back there all the time.
I'm sure you do.
Yes,
You'll be making
put
a
an account
deposit
there.
only next week. His brain used to be made out of cotton wool, shavings, water, paper, dust and gunpowder. You will receive a tin of brains as well. Steve, I thought you might let Michael do the embarrassing photos this week.
Yeah, but that's my bit. And he's a fish.
Yeah, but you'll feel better for it.
You've gone weird.
Of course, it will be easier if you were to read the names out.
Oh, no kidding. Right, how about this one here from Claire Pilcher? She says, well, they've got two stuck together.
Sounds a bit fishy to me, that.
No, this is from Miriam Holland, this one is. Says, this is my dad, John Holland, and he's having a nap or catching flies. Or doing both. I don't know. How about this one here? It's from Claire Pilcher. She says, this is my sister. Can you send her a tin of brains because she hasn't got some?
She looks
like she hasn't. And I thought this is going to be so embarrassing, this. This is from Janet McIntosh, and she says, that's my mum in the middle. when she was 9 years old. Oh, she's gonna...
What a natty little outfit that was, wasn't it? What a natty little outfit. Now it's time for Michael's favourite bit now.
What?
It's time for the viewer's animation for this week. See, Michael's a big fan of this.
Oh, is he now? Well,
Yes.
that's good to know,
Here
isn't
it comes. This is especially for Michael. It's by Richard Davey, and it's called Spike. Now, watch this. The dog comes out of the kennel and gets his head knocked off, which is rather bizarre.
That's my kind of cartoon!
It's brilliant. Thank you very much indeed for that, Richard. I think that just about concludes our business for this week.
Yeah,
doesn't it?
yeah.
So, unless you have anything to add, Steve or Michael?
Look, Andy, I've had enough of this fish. Either he goes or I do, and you've got the length of the address to make up your mind.
Well, that's a poser, isn't it, viewers? And while I ponder that difficult question, here is the address if you'd like to send us an animation, request for brains, or an embarrassing photo. It's Motormouth, P.O. Box 1, Maidstone, Kent, ME14 5LL. Motormouth, P.O. Box 1, Maidstone, Kent, ME14 5LL. And we look forward to hearing from you. Are you still here, eh?
Michael, come here, little fishy, come here, come here. It tastes better with chips.
Steve, I think perhaps you better go and answer the telephone.
What, it's not ringing?
No, but I have a funny feeling it's going to. Go on. In fact, I'm not even going to share a screen with you.
Huh?
You fish murderer.
No, there was a crime of passion.
Get off. Leave. Go on.
I eat dogs as well, you
Get
know.
out. Don't annoy the children. So there we are, viewers. Join us next week to find out if Steve Johnson really did mercilessly munch Michael the goldfish in the next thrilling episode of Who's Eaten Me Fish, which would have been starring Michael. I'm sorry, Jasper. Did I bite your head off?
Yo, boy!
All right, here we go. The battle of shoulder pads.
Right,
Take.
okay, here we go.
Oh.
Oh, no.
Ouch! I think we're in trouble now. You'll pay for that.
Steve?
Yeah.
What are those brown internal envelopes I saw you with in the letter spot?
Well, just by look, I've been handed them.
Thank you very much indeed. This should be it. Yes, indeed. This is mine and those are yours. What are you looking at?
Right, Michael. Oh, no, but give me a line.
Steve.
Oh, but I was just...
Steve.
Just between them.
The very man. Now, obviously, Rag's not here this week, so you've got the donuts and the cocktails and the popcorn all sorted,
Yeah,
yes?
Max was doing it. We've got a road all worked out.
Good man. Thanks, Paul.
Hello, Simon.
Good morning,
Juliet
Juliet.
Nichols. Welcome to Motormouth.
Thank you.
You're a bit of an extensions expert. I've got a patio at home, and I was wondering maybe a conservatory?
No, hair extensions.
Of
Juliet,
course.
Not home
How
extensions.
silly of me. Is there anything you could do with my hair?
I'd consider washing it first if I were you. Hello.
That's Max. He's just jealous. He's bald. If you'd like to sign the book, just there, that would be great.
Mailman.
Oh, thank you. And that's Paul. He's not the postman. He's
Hi,
American. This way, please.
Oh, see the junior Miss Lobotomy kid has arrived. I've got some toast for you.
No, thanks. I've had my breakfast.
What? No, not toast. Post. A letter.
Oh, thanks.
What are you doing anyway?
I'm getting ready. I'm a bridesmaid at Argane's wedding.
Oh, do you know the groom?
Yes, love, he's here.
See, the lobotomy kit's working. Listen. Hey, I can smell burning.
No, don't worry about that, Paul. It's just my scalp. Ah!
Oh, what's that? Oh, she's got such shiny hair. It's not fair. Well, you see, I'm sure you'll agree, Simon. I don't put anything on it, you see. I just like to wash my hair.
And go.
All right.
No. You were only making a joke, weren't you?
I'm late.
See you in a minute. Oh, I've got to do something about mine at the end. So
Now, the thing is, Gabby, what you've got to do is put lots of conditioner on.
That's a good idea.
Actually, I think there's some spray-on conditioner in the loo.
Oh, brilliant. I'm going to get some.
Okay, bye. At a recent meeting of the pay review board, it was agreed... Split ends.
Max.
Yes, hello.
Max.
Yes. Oh, good heavens, you've had a shock.
Yes, well, we all have, Max. I suppose you read your letter.
Well, yes, I have.
Don't take it too hard, Max,
I
old
mean,
buddy.
you know, it's hard times. There's a recession and everything.
I mean, I can't get my CD player anymore.
Oh.
We can always save up and go out sailing next year.
Yeah, well, what a disappointment.
Yeah.
Well, no, it hasn't been surely a complete disappointment.
Well, how do you mean?
Well, I mean that it hasn't been a disappointment For me?
Well, what are you saying?
Well, you see, my letter says right here that if it... Oh, OK.
Further to our conversation, I'm pleased to tell you that... 40 quid! That's...
Terrific, Max.
Great, that's really smashing.
Yeah. Well done.
Well, I was pleased.
Yes, really nice. Smashing.
Well, I can't stand around here chatting. I've got work to do.
Back to work. Yeah. Smashing, yeah. Great. Max, I know you probably think that I can't afford it now.
Oh,
but
now,
I
Juliet, how sweet of you to think about that. Now, look.
Yes.
I've given it some thought, and I thought that now that I'm earning that extra bit of money, what I'd do was I would gently suggest that Gabby came with me.
Good idea.
Yeah.
Good.
OK. Bye. I'm in the money, the skies are sunny.
It was dead easy, you see, Andy. All you can do is put a bit of carrot in the water, pick it up, do that, and we've got a golfer.
Yes, you had me convinced all the way, Steve. Really.
Oh, has anyone seen me carrot fish?
What colour is it?
It's orange.
OK. What's it look like?
Well, it's well camouflaged, believe it or not. It looks like a carrot.
Yeah.
Well, what's it taste like, then?
Taste? You don't taste the carrot fish, mate.
It's deadly poisonous, the Fijian carrot fish.
But if you did taste it, what would the symptoms be?
The symptoms? Oh, yes, your eyesight would go completely. Yeah, start to go really funny.
Steve?
Yeah.
How many fingers? 5.
I can only see one finger there.
Yeah.
Oh, here, here's a good test there. What's that? What can you see?
A potato.
Steve, it's quite clearly a chocolate eclair.
Of course, yeah, it's the light, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a light, it's a chocolate
of
eclair.
course,
And then the worst thing, the
Yeah.
final thing, is your taste buds go and you can't taste things.
Well, we better check then, hadn't we? Why don't you have a big bite of that lovely chocolate eclair, Steve?
That's a good idea, yeah.
OK.
Yeah. That's it, nice chocolate. Oh, what's it taste of, Steve?
Chocolate?
Have another bite, Steve. Do.
Another one there, mate. Can you taste the fresh cream? Can you taste it all?
No.
Oh, that's all right.
That's all right then. That's all right. You're obviously fine.
Excuse me, has anybody seen my poison potato fish?
To another brilliant game of... Yes, right, let's see who's playing the game this week. What's your name?
My name's Anthony Forrester. I'm age 12 and my hobbies are dancing and playing football.
You like playing football? That's always useful, football. What about you? What's your name?
My name's Misha Claycord. I'm age 12 and I like football and running.
Do girls usually like football?
Yes.
Oh, that's useful then. Right, let's see who's playing the game in the middle. We've got Sally Normile and Carl Lucas. Woo! Now, you've seen the game before, you know the rules by now, but let's have a look, see what you're playing for, because today's 4-star prize is a mountain bike. Do you think you're going to win that?
Try.
Are you going to concentrate on the game?
Yeah.
Right then, are we ready? Yeah! Well, let's do the count, shall we? 3, 2, 1, go! Right, pick those up and burst these balloons. Come on, get them all burst. Right, come to here. What are you going to do? Go on, do another one. Turn that thing off, all right? The rocket top you. Are you ready? Go! Come on! Whoa! And back again. Go past the stage. Keep passing, come on, come back, Ashley. You walk. The time is yours. All time wasted is your time. Pick it up yourself, open the balloon. Come on. Them all burn. Come on. You can do it. And 2 more. Right, let's move on. Right, concentrate on this game. Don't forget, never walk in this game. If you walk, it's your time. Right, under here is 10 objects. You've got to remember them. You've got 10 seconds to do it in. Are you ready? There we go. We've got a cuddly teddy bear. We've got a few things. Try and remember these. I'll try and salvage my career. Right, let's move on, shall we? Now, I want 3 golf balls through the hole here, all right? Are you ready? Go on. Try and knock them through. Come on, you can knock them through. Just hold it. Head around the other way around. Hold around that way round. Come on, try and get him through there. Knock him through. Come on. Go on, just knock him. Just knock him. Come on, concentrate what you do. We got one. Come on, two more. Two more. We got two. One more. Three. Come on through to him. Right, come on up to here. Let me have a read. So what you've got to do here. Slide the letters along the frame, moving one out at a time at the line to make the name of this game. So slide along and move one out at a time now. You've got to make the name. You know the name of the game, don't you? All right. Slide them along. Oops. Pull them all out. Come on. Just get the R down there. I think we're almost there. Let's get the R up. And we got Mousetrap. Come on, onto timeout square. Stop the clock. We took a little while on that one, but I think we got there eventually. Well done with that. Now, let's have a look, see what you got. Look what you've won. You've won this brilliant Rattle and Bones game. Woo! Right, now, let's have a look down here. See how long you've got left. You've got about 5 minutes or so left to do it in. Right, let's have a look, see what you've got to go down here, all right? Are you ready? Are you contented? Let's go! I want 2 over each pole. I want 2 over each pole. Come on. We've got 1 on each. Oh, we've got 3 on that one. Let's get 2 on that one. We need 2 on here. Come on. No, this one here. Yes, right. This is the memory square, all right? I want you to remember 3 things off the memory tray.
Okay, teddy bear,
Yeah.
number 4, a boat,
Yeah. One more
and
thing.
a key.
A key is correct. No, under you go, under you go. Come on. Clear some of the balls out of your way, that'll help. Come on. Come on, you can do it. Come on, keep churning through. Come on, clear some balls out your way. Go under there, go on. Push yourself under. Force yourself under. Come on, force yourself out. Yes, here you come. Come on, you can do it. Come on, you have to push yourself. Push your legs. Come on. Hey! Right, under you go, you can pull you out. Come on. Pull Michelle out. You've got to pull her out. Pull her through. Go on. Oh, pull yourself under. Grab her hand, pull her out. It's the best thing. I love this one. Come on. Come on. Out you come. Out you come. Come on. Here you go. Hey! Woo! Right, onto here. Onto here. Onto here. Right. Sit back. Right. You've got to pass the buzzer, the ringer, from here to here, right? But you've got to swap over on the middle bit. If you touch, the buzzer will ring, and then you'll have to start again. All right? Are you ready? Go. Now, take your time on this one. Concentrate. You can do it. Ooh, it was close. It was close. Didn't really ring. Right, take it. Now, careful on the swap over. You got it? You got it? Oh, careful. Here we go. We're almost there. Just like the school fete. Are you all right? Yes, right. Onto timeout square. Stop the clock. You did very well through there. You're never going to get through the bubbles there. All right, are you ready? Let's see what you've won. You've won this brilliant camera outfit. Right, you've got just about 3 minutes left, so you're doing extremely well. I think you can just about get it in time. If you go for it, come on. Through you go. Go over you go. Right. Come. Onto square, onto square. Right. This is the mime square. I'm going to show you some bathroom things. Well, the bathroom things. Touch fire. Through there, leap over the top, turn the thing off when she touches you. Come on, come on, come on! Come on, quick! Yes! And back again, Come on! Now you're going to mime the bathroom, and these are things that you do in it, all right? I want you to mime these. Here. What's that? What do you think that is?
Shower. What?
Shower is correct. How about that one there?
Comb your hair,
No.
your skin.
Well, what do you sit in?
Bath.
The bath. What about that? Not mine, no noise.
Gargle your mouth.
You gargle. What's this one?
Brush your teeth.
Oh, well, yeah, clean teeth, that'll do. What about this one?
Comb your hair or wash your hair.
Wash your hair, let's move on. I want 3 bean bags in each one of the nets. Throw. We got 1, 2, 3, onto here. Right, this is a true or false square. I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to tell me if it's true or false, all right? One of your answers, so confer on this one. A philanthropist collects stamps. True or false?
False.
False, you are right. That's a philatelist. Let's move on. Move on. What am I doing? Stop. I was miles away then, wasn't I? Well done. We stopped the clock. Let's see what you've won. You've won this basketball and basketball shirt. Right. You've got one side left. You've got a minute and a quarter left to finish the game in. You still play for the mountain bikes. Let's get going. Right, let me read this out to you. You've got to move the boxes from here to here, one at a time, without ever putting a bigger box on top of a smaller one. All right? One at a time. Don't put a bigger box on top of a smaller one. Think about this. That's right, one box at a time. Concentrate and think about it. Don't put a bigger one. Right. That one there. Now what do you think you can do? Oh, no, that one there. And that one there. Through the tunnel. Through the tunnel. Through you go. Come on, you've got less than a minute left. Onto here. Help her through, help her through. You've got less than a minute left. Right. Onto here, onto here. Right, you've got the choice of either try to remember something off the memory square or take a question. Which one do you want to do?
Memory.
What do you want to remember?
A banana.
Banana is correct! No. You need something else, You said that before. Key, Carl, you said that?
Teddy bear.
Teddy bear, did you say teddy bear before?
No.
Let's move on! Right, knock those off. Knock those off, come on. Come on! Quick, concentrate that square! Stop the clock! You had 3 seconds left to finish the game in, and you were still walking, Anthony. I can't believe it. You wandered through this game, but you still managed to get it finished in time. Do you know what that means? You've won this fantastic Sega Master System. Not only have you picked up everything else on the way round, but now it's time to enter the trap. Come with me. Oh, onto here. I don't know. I've never known somebody so as cool as you, Anthony, who can stroll around and still hang on to the 4-star prize, but you're doing extremely well. Now, you know what you've got to do here? What you've got to do now is you've got to answer 4 questions in the time it takes for the trap to fire and the cage to drop down. Are you thinking about it? Fire the trap! What sort of boys are Neil Tennant and Chris Lowe? It's music. Neil Tennant and Chris Lowe? You don't know Pet Shop Boys. Pet Shop Boys is correct. Which country's airline is called Aeroflot? You don't know pass? That's Russia. How many events are there in a pentathlon? Pentathlon?
3.
No, it's 5. In which sport would you do an Eskimo roll? If you don't know, say pass.
Pass.
Canoeing. Who lived in Never Neverland and never grew up?
Peter Pan.
Peter Pan, that's 2 you've got. What are clogs made of? Clogs. Wood. Wood is correct. Name the 5 vowels.
A-E-I-O-U.
Yes, stop the clock. How could you leave it like that? I don't know how you did it, but you did. You won this week's 4-star prize, which is a mountain bike. Oh, dear, you've worn me out this morning. But have you enjoyed yourselves?
Yes.
Well, I hope you've enjoyed yourselves too. We'll see you again next week with another fantastic game of... Well done. Come on, go and have a look, see what you've got.
And more Mousetrap next week. Now, do you ever have one of those mornings when you wake up and your hair just won't do what you want it to do, or you're going off to a party and it's looking curly when you wanted it straight? Well, the man that can help us with all our hair care problems is Trevor Sorby. Good morning, Trevor. Thank you for joining us in the studio. Now, you're Hairdresser of the Year for the 3rd time. We're just going to have a brief look at why he got that title. There's some great pictures here. Now, the first one up is a girl with flames in her hair. That looks quite wonderful. The next one, that spiral effect. I know it's not real hair, but you'll tell us the secret in a moment. And the last one, that's my favourite. That is such a beautiful photograph. Congratulations on the title, Trevor.
Thank you.
But were those real hair pieces? I mean, why do people actually go out like that?
Well, those photographs are basically avant-garde hairstyles, and the reason I do them is to basically get that sort of weird and wacky look, but from that comes commercial hairstyles, and they can all be toned down and put on people, actually.
But isn't that not bad for your hair?
Well, anything's actually bad for your hair, even down to just blow drying it on a daily basis. So you have to be very careful as to how much heat and the chemicals that are on the market. So
we've got some people from the audience who think they've got problems with their hair. First up, we've got Jenny. Now, what's the problem with your hair?
I don't like it because it looks too thin and it's too fine. It looks like doll's hair at the bottom.
Looks like doll's hair. All right, so what's the solution?
I think this is from chlorine in swimming pools. It's caused this kind of very shiny Barbie doll look on the ends. And what I think needs to be done here is to actually cut that off.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to sort of make it look thicker and heavier. It's quite fine hair, and the way to deal with that is by cutting it shorter and keeping the weight in the ends.
And then keeping it conditioned once that's done.
Oh,
yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Everybody should condition their hair at all times, with or without chemicals on.
Right, OK. Thank you, Jenny. We'll come back to you later. And next up, we've got Donna. Now, Donna, what's the problem with you? What do you want done?
I like my hair more curlier, but without having a perm.
Right, without having a perm, more curly.
Right. Donna's got actually naturally wavy hair, and a few years ago, but in fact 12 years ago, I invented a method of drying hair called scrunch drying.
So it's your fault. It's all your fault
Yes.
that everyone scrunches.
Yes, it's my fault. I'm sorry. But I'm going to actually demonstrate scrunch drying on Donna's hair, and you'll see how it will just explode with curl on a temporary basis.
But it's something that anybody can do at home, can't
Oh,
they?
it's one of the most popular ways of drying your hair, yeah.
Great, OK. Next up, we've got Daniela. Now, Daniela, how about you? What do you want?
I want a perm because my hair is really straight and boring.
Right, you're somebody that actually wants a perm.
Yeah, well, this is quite a common thing at this age. Lots of young girls want more hair, and we're actually going to layer her hair a little bit, and then we're going to perm it. And at the end of the programme, you'll see that she'll just look like she's got twice as much hair.
But now, perms, that you should go to a salon, shouldn't you? You shouldn't do it at home.
Yeah, well, you know, there are home perms, but the secret of a good perm is not in the lotion, it's in the winding technique. For example, if you buckle the ends and you can't get them screwed up, that will cause a frizz. If you put the rod in and you put the elastic band over to keep the rod in, if that's too close to the scalp, you can break hair. So literally, if you've got to understand what chemicals do, and if you left perm lotion on hair, it literally can dissolve hair.
Right, so it's worth saving your pennies and going to a hairdresser.
Exactly.
Right, and next up we've got Jude. I'm pleased to see that there's a guy here, because they should look after their hair too. How about you? What's your problem?
Well, for as long as I can remember, I've had curly hair, and I'd like a change because I'm bored with it.
Right, you'd like a change.
Right, well, I mean, Jude's got extremely curly hair, and there's two ways you can do this. And one is to straighten it, which is actually a perm in reverse.
Right.
And that's a method of putting on the lotion and combing it continuously. But I must warn you, that's another process that has to be done at the hairdressers because breakage can take place. Today we're going to give him the illusion of straight hair by simply using heat with a blow dryer and a brush, and you'll see quite a change here.
Looking forward to that one. I think he is too. And last up we've got Christina. Now, Christina, how about you? What do you want done to your hair?
Well, I've always loved the colour red, and I want to look like Julia Roberts.
You want to look like Julia Roberts? Well, I'm sure we can do that for you, Trevor.
Yeah, well, we're going to colour Christina's hair, and once again we're talking chemicals here, and there's a couple of things to remember. If you do colour your hair at home, anything that comes with 2 bottles in a package is a permanent colour.
Right.
And if somebody wants their hair lightened, that's permanent. We're going to use a semi-permanent colour. We call it a vegetable dye, and literally it sits on top of the hair, so it doesn't enter the hair. So it, over a 4 to 6 week period, it just shampoos out.
Right, and it's another thing worth thinking about. I don't understand why anybody would want to dye their hair, really, but it's worth thinking about if you want to change the colour of your hair. OK, for the moment, Trevor, thank you very much. We'll be back with you in about an hour to see the finished product.
OK.
But over here, we've got Simon. Trevor and Simon? I'm sure I've heard that somewhere before.
Oh, hello, Trev.
Now, you're actually the man who invented extensions, and that's actually how to make short hair look long. Now, is it real hair?
No, it's not second-hand hair.
Right.
It's monofibre,
right.
Which is it's a brand new product. This gives you some idea of some of the colours that are available with it. It feels like natural hair.
Yeah.
But we can seal it into the natural hair without any damage.
But how do you get the colour? Because, I mean, nobody has that sort of colour hair. I mean, how do you match it up? If I wanted it, how would you match it up?
Right, OK, well, let's have a look here. I've got these 3 colours. And all we need to do with this is just to brush them actually together and mix
and match.
And match.
Yeah.
And gradually, as you brush the monofibre and you spread it out, you start to blend very bright colours in together and get softer shades. And finally, the stripes will, I mean, if I did that a bit longer.
Blend in.
And then we go over to Bethany here, our model, and she's got a sort of short bob, which is kind of average haircut. And she wants, like a lot of people, she wants long hair.
Yeah.
So that's exactly what we're doing.
Now, how are you doing this?
Okay, well, it's a simple process. All it is a tiny little braid at the root. They put the monofibre in, they braid it, and then when they finish doing that braid, there's a little heat seal.
Oh, is that not bad for your hair?
No.
No?
It's not even as hot as curling tongs, for instance.
Oh, right.
So it doesn't damage the hair, but it will hold it in there until you want to remove it.
And you can wash your hair with that in it as well?
Yeah, you live with it. I mean, it's like adopting it.
You look.
Yeah, we don't give you an adoption certificate, but it's very similar.
Right, well, thank you very much for the moment again, Simon. We're going to come back to Bethany in about an hour's time.
We'll see such a big change in Bethany.
Are you looking forward to having it done? Yeah, she's nodding away there. Now, but there's other things you can do, aren't there?
Oh, there's a whole myriad of things, which we'll show you a bit later on.
Great. For the moment, thank you very much.
Pleasure.
Now, also, in about an hour's time, we're going to see the finished products of Trevor and of Simon, and we're going to give you information of a competition, and we'll tell you how to get a hair care fact sheet. But for the moment, gentlemen, thank you very much.
Yes, I'll bring them back in a minute.
Juliet?
Yes?
Can we just have a quick word with you?
Yes, certainly. We'll make it a quick one because I'm a very busy woman.
Juliet, Paul and I were just chatting whilst getting on with our job.
Good.
And we were just wondering how you felt about Max's pay rise.
I think Max has been very lucky.
Yeah, but how do you feel about it?
I feel fine, Paul.
Fine about the fact he's got an extra 40 quid a week?
Yes.
Well, we think it's a bit unfair, and it's just not on,
No, I
really.
mean, he doesn't even do as much work as we do.
Now, hold on a minute here. It is not Max's fault that he was given £40 a week extra and we weren't. It's an executive decision and we have to stick by that.
Yeah, but it's a bad one, and I just think we should consider our position.
Yeah.
What are you saying?
Well, we can withdraw our goodwill.
Yeah, I mean, I could stop getting the milk every morning.
You don't have to be doing Rags' job in the studio.
No, I don't like even cleaning the dress rooms or the toilets.
OK, so we're talking work to rule here.
Yes.
I would just like to say for the record that I will not be associated with any form of militant industrialisation action, all right? And frankly, I just think it just never works. It's counterproductive. Is that clear? And I want you to consider one thing before you do anything you might regret. Consider the child, the guest. Consider the programme. Excuse me.
Consider the money.
Oh, thanks, Juliet.
Oh, no. Thank you, Max.
Max, I need the props for the Oxfam item.
Well, I don't know where they are. Why don't you see one of the junior members of staff? Juliet's in reception, or the other two might be in props.
Don't move a muscle, mate.
No, I won't, thank you.
Special delivery for you, Max.
Oh, lovely.
You've had some real luck with the post this morning, haven't you?
I do seem to have had, yes.
I haven't had a chance to say, Max, friend to friend, you know. Congratulations on the pay rise.
Thank you.
I think it's marvellous.
Yes.
Paul and Millie are finding it a little hard to take.
Look at that.
I mean, frankly, I think they're a little disappointed.
Oh,
yeah.
Little tongs.
And, well, I mean, I don't mind. You know, obviously I don't mind. I mean, what's an extra £40 a week, you know?
Well, it's quite a substantial sum, I would have thought.
I mean, it means that Millie can't buy her CD player, and Paul can't go on his course.
Well, they'll just have to forego those little luxuries, I suppose.
I feel it has rather upset the family atmosphere.
Juliet, I know what you want from me. You want me to talk to them. A little bit of diplomacy.
It wouldn't go amiss, Max.
Leave it with me.
I knew I could.
Ah, what's going on here? Lots of lovely work. Good, good, good. And what are you doing there, Millie?
Just tidying up.
Just tidying up, that's great. And what are you doing there, Paul? You're just doing some of that. Fine. That's great. Now, look, I'd just like to say, of course, I'm not totally insensitive, and I realise, of course, that my recent pay increase has caused a lot of envy and indeed even bitterness among you. And I'd just like to say that I think we should all really pull together and get the show on. Is that okay with you? Yes? 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 No? No? Okay, fine. No. I would like to say this to you then. If I do not find that you are respecting my new authority, the board will get to hear about it, and you may find yourself in a position of having your wages cut. Do I make myself clear? I think I do.
all-out strike.
Hiya, welcome back to Motormouth. Now, this year sees the 50th anniversary of Oxfam. Now, Oxfam to you and me probably means one of those shops on the high street where you go along and you have a look at all those second-hand goods in there and the clothing. Now, you might think, well, that's not really for me. But you might be surprised, you know. Have a rummage through and you might find some good bargains that you could turn into something, customise it, make it look trendy. Now, not only is it good clothing that you can get there, but also you're doing a good cause. You give your money and it does go to a very good cause. Now, Oxfam was set up many years ago to help the people in developing countries in the south. And one of those countries is a country called Burkina Faso. Now, Burkina Faso is there in Africa, and their problem is total lack of water. You see there, the land is completely dried. In fact, deforestation has completely impoverished the land, and any rain that does fall washes away any topsoil that there is, so nothing grows. So there's a hard, crusty surface there, and next time the rain falls again, it literally falls off that hard, crusty surface. Now, I can give you a demonstration here as to what happens. If you take a look at this tray, rock hard, just like the land in Burkina Faso. They need water, and when it eventually does come in the form of rainfall, that's what happens. It just runs off the slopes. Well, the people have started using what they call magic stones. That's their name for stones that they use to build dams with. Good idea, dam building, because what happens is when the rain comes, it falls onto the slopes, very level ground there, falls down the slopes, and it collects in the dams, slowing the water down, dropping any soil that it's carrying away, and also sinking into the land. It gives a chance for the rain to sink into the land and make the land fertile again. But again, with dam building, there is a problem. It's good when you've got the dams like that, but if you build the dams there, like that, the rain falls and just runs through them. So in other words, if you take a look at that, the dams have to be built across the slope as opposed to down the slope. Now, that sounds very easy, but when you live in Burkina Faso, how do you tell where the slopes are? How do you tell which way the land is sloping? Because it's all so flat. That is where Oxfam came in. Now, they came up with a brilliant idea that's based on the principle that I learnt at school: water finds its own level. Now, if you put water, I've dyed it a bit here so you can see it, put water in a tube, you move the tube up and down like that, and you look at the two levels of water there, they stay the same, they stay opposite each other. The tubes are moving, but the water stays. Now, what Oxfam have done is they've introduced the people of Burkina Faso to these things. They're poles with a 20-foot length of tubing on them. Again, I've put some water in there with some dye. Now, if you put the two poles together like that, the water in the tubes will find its own level. So if you mark that up using a rather thick felt tip pen there, one there and one there, and then you stand the two poles on the same surface, flat together like that, then the water finds its own level on the marks. There's the marks. But look what happens when you move one of the poles up. Well, the water, there it goes, it'll eventually find its own level. There it is, it's at the same level, but it's moved off the marks. And that happens when one of the poles is higher than the other. In other words, not on level ground. When I put them back together again, and they're on level ground, the water again finds its own level at the marks. And that works every time, so you can find out where the level land is, especially if you've got a 20-foot length of tubing. Now, if I can just bring Abby in here, we can prove that it works. Come on in, Ab. And what I want you to do is you take that pole. Now, don't look at what I'm doing. I'm going to get onto one of our coloured steps here. Right, now, I'm not going to tell you which one it is I'm on. And I want you to go up and down the steps there and see if you can find, using your mark with the water, the equivalent step I'm on. So if you put your pole on the green step to start with, but just turn it round there so we can see it on the camera. There it is. Now, is the water at the level of the mark?
No.
No? OK. Try the top step. That's it. Once you don't fall, I'll give you a little hand there. Let's see. Top step again. Oh, what's the water do now? Is it on the mark?
No.
No? OK, try the middle step. That's it. There you go. Middle step. Is the water on the mark?
Yep.
So without looking at me, which step am I on?
The middle step.
The middle step it is, the yellow step. Brilliant principle, but does it really work? Well, Oxfam have introduced the idea to the people at Burkina Faso, and look what's happened. Now, you take a look at the flat and dead land as it is now. Well, if you weren't taught the water level technique, you'd never know where to put your stones and reclaim the land. Well, for the last 10 years, the people have been taught, and they've taught each other, and the idea has really caught on. Because, let's face it, it is a good idea. It's cheap. You don't need expensive equipment, it's easy to learn, and most of all, it works. All you need are rocks, one of the water levels, like the poles we were using, barren land, and lots of willing hands to do the work. And let's face it, there's plenty of those out there. Well, whole villages have got involved, and where 10 years ago there were only stone lines on 20,000 acres, now there are lines on 1.25 million acres. If you can harvest what rain there is, you get fast results. You can harvest a crop the following year, and if you can harvest a crop, you can feed yourself, your family, and your animals. In other words, you can look after yourself and help push back the desert and give yourself a future. That is exactly what Oxfam have done. Some people would call it a miracle. I'd call it a success story. So how can we get involved? Well, let's find out from my fellow Scouser here, Leapfrog. Good morning, Leapfrog, and welcome to Motormouth.
Oh, hi there, Neil. I was looking for you.
Yeah, I saw you paying attention there, Leapfrog.
Yeah, I was. I was taking a lot of attention to it all, you know.
So look, how can we get involved with what Oxfam are doing? Because I think it's a great idea.
Well, it is a great idea. Now, listen up, because this year, everybody, is leap year. So that means we've got an extra day to have fun and enjoy ourselves. But why not use that extra day to raise some money for Oxfam?
As opposed to lying in bed?
Yeah, absolutely.
Sounds good to me. So what do we do?
Well, how about doing a sponsored leapfrogging or a sponsored sing? Carry croaky, just don't get a frog in your throat, get a frog in your throat.
Or a sponsored joke tell, like your jokes.
Yeah, something like that, something like that.
So if you want to do that, what have you prepared something? Have you got as a fact sheet?
Yeah, I've got a special action pack, a leapfrog action pack.
Just so happens we've got one here, there
and there's a free froggy mask in that, and stickers and all sorts of goodies and loads of ideas for raising money.
And how do we get one of them then?
Oh, well, it's that simple. You just call in on this number.
Go on then.
0272 244 700.
That's 0272 244 700. And if you ring and mention Motormouth's name, we will give you a Motormouth goodie pack. We'll put your name into a hat and draw 10 out. And if you get drawn out, we'll give you a Motormouth goodie pack and a T-shirt like this, a froggy T-shirt, and a couple of froggy books like that. Now, listen, can I ask you a personal question?
Oh, yeah, you can, of course you can.
Do you really come from Liverpool?
Where do you think I come from?
Well,
Tadpool. Tadpool. Get it? Bum, bum, bum. Hey, I love your clothes. Do they come from Oxfam shops?
Get out of it. Thank you very much indeed. I think it's a great...
This is an official picket line, okay? And before you decide to cross it, or not, you should listen to Millie. Millie?
Because I feel that we have just been completely unjustly...
Would you like to come through? This way, please. Welcome to Motormouth.
Thank you.
After you. Thank you.
Juliet.
What'd you say to her?
In an English country
Max,
garden.
unlimited.
I'll tell you
And
now,
Mrs. Max.
some that I know, and though I miss, I hope
He's our resident deaf gardener.
Pardon?
I'm very sorry about everything this morning. I'm afraid the dressing rooms are in a bit of a mess, but I'll come up and clean them up for you later.
Oh, that's all right. But what's wrong with your nose?
Nothing. Excuse me, Gabby.
What's the matter?
I just got to look for a blackhead.
Why?
Well, I just let the band across the official picket line and Millie said blackhead.
No, she probably didn't say blackhead at all. She probably said black leg.
Black leg?
Well, as in scab.
How can it be a scab? It was only a blackhead a minute ago.
No, Julia, as in slime ball, greasy, toady, sucker-upper-upper-too.
She must have been talking about someone else.
Oh.
I don't know what you said to Paul and Millie, but the result of your so-called diplomacy means they have formed an official picket line at the front door and are refusing to do any work.
Juliet, can't you see I'm occupied?
Occupied with what?
Well, I didn't have time to do these this morning. I was in such a rush, so I thought I'd just bring them into work and polish up.
Max, I have just sent the band up to messy dressing rooms. The donuts have run out and Rags isn't here.
And why are you coming to me with this? Those are Paul and Millie's jobs. Go and see them.
Yes, but while they're not working, the responsibility to run the show falls on yours and my shoulders. So you do the dressing room and I'll do the donuts.
Juliet, come back here, would you? I really don't think you should give me orders.
Max, I am so sorry. I shouldn't talk to you like that.
No, you shouldn't, because really, you've had more than enough time to get used to my new authority, really.
What?
Well, I mean, now that I'm earning more than you, I mean, it's clear.
Oh, Max, it's absolutely ridiculous.
You see, there it is coming out now. You see, I think it was felt upstairs that you were too neurotic and, well, paranoid to hold a top job.
Neurotic? I'm not neurotic. Who said I was paranoid? Who said that?
And if my suspicions are correct, there's a letter winging its way to you now confirming my change of status. La 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 la. Goodbye in an English country garden.
Yes, Steve, right? It's like, you know, it's us today, but it could be the presenters tomorrow.
You see, first of all, Steve, it starts off wage cuts, then it's job losses.
Divide and rule.
So are you with us, Steve?
Yeah.
So listen, if you could just have a word with the other presenters, okay?
Yeah, I mean, just any little thing you can do, Steve, to help our cause.
Right. I'll chain myself to this door.
I think Steve's in our team now.
Now, Juliet, just don't do anything, you know, rash, because we're serious about this.
Yes, we feel that we've just been completely unjustly treated.
I've got one thing to say to you two.
We shall not be moved. We shall not.
Well, you're making a very good job of that, Steve. But why?
Well, there's an industrial dispute, right, with my brother and my sister back there.
Yeah.
So I'm not doing no more presenting today. I'm on strike.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So that's it. No work.
So you weren't wanting to be introducing the Beetlejuice cartoon?
Well, Steve.
Apparently he's down there, on strike.
Yes.
On strike, so we won't want to be introducing Beetlejuice then, will he?
Nope, not at all.
No, no.
And he won't want any of those new delivery of donuts that we've had with the icing on?
No.
And he won't want any of those cocktails that we've mixed specially over there?
No.
And the ones with orange juice in with the
That's the
multicoloured
ones,
layers
yeah.
on it, and you blend them up and they look... Actually, I've heard that they're Steve's favourites,
They are,
really.
they see. Well, we'll just leave you there then, Steve, and have one of these cocktails on these donuts.
When we get over here eventually.
And here's Beetlejuice.
Well, go on, then.
No way.
Please, introduce the band.
The band.
That's it, is it? That's all we're going to get?
That's all.
Steve, you wouldn't be, perchance, on one of your I'm only going to say 2 words at a time work to rules or anything, are you?
You're right.
Well, there's a little poser for you then. Steve, how many presenters do you think this link really needs?
Just one.
2 right. 2 unlimited.
industrial action's causing, but I'm sure you'll agree there's a principle at stake here.
Yes, I completely agree, and I understand, and I'm sympathetic, but you've also got to understand that I've got a job to do.
Oh, yes, I do. I understand that totally, and we are providing the minimum service. We're simply on a work to rule.
All right, okay.
Well, thanks anyway, Gabby.
Okay, no problem.
Gabby, you've got a sticker on your back. Unfair. It's a gas leak, I think.
Unfair!
Guys, the donuts and cocktail situation, distribution thereof is not getting any better.
We'd like to help, but it's nothing to do with us.
Talk to Max.
Where is Max? Thank you.
Unfair!
Unfair!
Max, as the others have refused to help, distribution of donuts and cocktails, can you sort it out?
Well, I'm the worst person to come to for advice.
But I am coming to you for advice, Max. Is there anything you can possibly think of, any way you can get it sorted out?
Well, the thing is, I mean, I've spoken to them and they simply refuse. But...
Max?
Actually, hang on. Yes, I think I can sort it out, Andy. Just leave it with me. Yeah.
Thanks, Max. Good man.
Unfair! What's Millie?
I don't know.
Unfair!
Excuse me.
Unfair!
Millie, where have you been?
You can't stand on an official picket line dressed like that.
Yes, I know.
What's your political commitment?
Well, I'm sorry, Julia, but I've got to get my frock and I've got to be there at 12 o'clock. I asked Trevor, he said, why don't you put a few colours in? I'm a nervous wreck. I've not even had a practice. I don't even know how to be a bridesmaid.
Well, what about the rehearsal supper?
I missed the rehearsal supper.
Oh, well, you got to have a practice. Look, we'll be the bride and groom, and you can...
But make it quick, Paul. This is an official picket line, you know.
Okay, processional.
So I go,
Millie, you have to leave some slack on the train, otherwise trip the bride up.
Sorry.
Chin up, smile.
And then we kneel.
And the blessing.
Yeah.
Max,
I do.
I do. And then we kiss.
In your dreams, spaghetti legs.
I can't believe it. A live television programme disrupted by a strike.
It's crazy, isn't it?
And he should know better, Steve.
Hey?
Steve Chain Johnson.
Oh, he really...
With his big car.
The great thing is there really is change to the door, which is rather nice. It's written in the paper today, yesterday, that PC stunned by a 104-mile-an-hour car. The car was a Robin Reliant, apparently, doing 104 miles an hour. I didn't think the cars were capable of that kind of thing.
Yeah, but you know who's probably driving it?
Yeah?
Steve, I'm chained to the door. Johnson, you should know better.
I think no, Steve doesn't ever go over the speed limit. After the break, find out how you can meet such stars as Jonathan Ross and Catherine Zeta-Jones. That all comes up in a couple of minutes. See you then.
What did you buy again for a wedding present?
Well, I've got her a toaster.
Oh, Millie.
Has she got a hope chest?
A what chest?
You know.
Oh, excuse me. This is an official picket line. Where do you think you're going?
Yeah.
Oh, we're working for Max.
You're working for Max?
Well, he's paying us.
Look, just give this to your friends to read. Typical. Child labour. Will he stop at nothing? We have to indoctrinate these children with their political rights. We have to read them these leaflets.
Juliet, why don't we just bribe them with a big bag of toffees each?
That won't cut it. He's paying them.
Bourgeois capitalist pig.
Right on, Juliet.
Max,
All right, before you start your tedious chanting, I'd like to have a parley.
Well, yes.
Okay, Max, we're listening.
Right, all I'd like to say is that your strike is clearly an abysmal failure. Thanks to me and my juvenile workforce, everything's running smoothly, and the only thing you've succeeded in proving is that children can do your jobs.
What? I don't think
Congratulations. The other thing I'd like to advise you is that if you keep up this bizarre behaviour and willful disruption, you're in grave danger of losing your jobs. I'll leave that with you. Thank you.
Well, I think we've got him on the run.
Yeah, he looked nervous.
Still chained to the door, then, Steve?
Well, nothing but wild horses would drag me away from this door, because I'm on strike!
So there's no chance of the help you're supposed to give me with a virtual reality item, then?
They'll have to bring it over here.
Steve, we can't bring the virtual reality item over here. It's far too big. In fact, I think they started without me, mate. I'll have to go. I'm sorry.
No,
I'm going to have to do it on my own, Steve. I'm sorry. There, check this out. It's being demonstrated by our friends from 2 Unlimited. And far better than I would do it. Thank you very much indeed, guys. All right. Appreciate that, you see. Spectacular special effect to grab your attention. Well, now we've managed that, I'll explain briefly how it works. There is a camera over yonder, which is picking up the image of 2 Unlimited, or now me, feeding it into a computer. The computer is taking my image and putting a new background behind me, and then we can do this, which is what the manufacturers of this system call body painting. Bizarre special effect, I'm sure you'll agree, but what use is it unless you're going to spend your life at computer-generated raves? Well, it does have practical applications, but first, will explain how the system works. If you are familiar with computers, you will be able to recognise this kind of screen. Look, there's the little arrow going round the screen, there's Windows in the top corner, and you have that little mouse thing, and you press the mouse, and the mouse opens the window, and it closes the information, and so on and so forth. Well, now, with this system, I can become the mouse. There I am. That's my silhouette in the screen there. If I touch the window, it should open the thing there like that, and then you can touch it again with your hand. You can use your head. Look, hang on. Bit of that there. You can do a bit of that. And using the same principle that weathermen use, this is why I'm standing against a blue background like this, instead of seeing a green outline of me, you can actually see me myself. Thank you, Mark. So the principle is the same as the virtual reality computing that we had on the programme a couple of months ago. Remember when you had to put the helmets on and you had a three-dimensional computer world that you stepped into? The difference with this one is this is hands-off, two-dimensional virtual reality, and I am now inside the computer. Not like when the weathermen do it, because the weathermen are standing in front of a screen and they make gestures. They can't do that. Look at this, you see. That's me animating the computer from inside. Brilliant. Mark's down there operating the equipment. What else can you do for me, Mark? Ah, this is a good one. This is how you could do your business presentations from inside your own computer. These are the projected forecasts of Steve Johnson's mail over the next few months. Now, if I just touch this thing down here, now I can animate my projected fan mail forecasts for February. Hang on a second. Go on. Go, go, go. According to... No, don't cheat and use the arrow, Mark. We're supposed to be showing how I can do it inside the computer. That makes it look like a complete con. Honestly, you can do it. Look, if I animate, obviously I'm not going to get much fan mail over... Ah, that's a bit more like it. I don't obviously get much fan mail in February, despite the fact it's my birthday on February the 24th. I didn't say that. But we'll just move smoothly on. Right, can we do some of this stuff? What else can we do? Ah, now. I have often harboured ambitions to be a rock star, and this is the nearest I'm going to get. Computer-animated drums. Because the computer uses any part of my image, I can use my feet to play the drums, my hands, do the cymbal with my head. Is it animals next? Is that what we come to next? Yes, because you see, Neil often does the bird animals and the animal items and stuff like that. Falconer we had on the programme a few weeks ago. I don't know why they didn't ask me to do it, because you see, you can just put the bird on your hand like that, and he just follows you around. Look at that. Andy Crane, he talks to the computer-animated animals, and you move your hand away swiftly like that, and the bird stays exactly where it is. Marvellous. This is great. It's into a computer-animated world. Right, Mark, what else have you got for me? Ah! I can be an angel, too. I can play my harp. If you want to look like a real harpist, you got your two hands. I mean, obviously, you look a bit silly standing here in mid-air doing it if nobody can see what's on the screen. But I enjoy it nonetheless. I look a bit silly, me think. The extension to this would obviously be how can you play games with it? Well, there are games that you can play. This one is called Shutout. If you touch the thing at the top there, the balls start to fly into the net. I won't play it. I'll explain briefly what happens. Obviously, by touching the balls, you have to try and stop the balls going into the net. And at the end of the first period, you see how you actually... Oh, save one there. Save that one there. Is it the ones that go red that have gone into the net, Mark? That's right, isn't it? Yeah. And at the end of that period, I think it's a 12 goals to my 4 saves, which is absolutely an abysmal performance, but I'm sure you do better than that. Prototype at the moment, the technology, but I'm sure in a few months' time, I'm completely out of breath, all that leaping around. I'm so unfit. In a few months' time, that will be the kind of games that you will be playing in amusement arcades and the stuff like that. Steve. Well, at least he's remaining chained to the door, like he said he would. You're looking good there.
I
knew it wouldn't last.
Now.
Look, it's me, isn't it?
Yes.
Last week we had Benjamin Hurdle on with these paper organs, and obviously I can't play them, but Neil can for the time being. We played a tune, you see, in reverse, and we had to tell what it was. Can you play that for me?
the tune in reverse, wasn't it?
Thank you. Yeah, it was... can you play it the other way? Because we've got millions of answers correct. Yes, it was the Motormouth tune. Very clear as well. So, can you by any chance draw the winners for me? Thank you.
You want me to do the winners as well?
Well, yeah, I'm kind of tied up at the moment.
You don't want much, do you?
No.
Right, well, we had 5 sets to give away, 2 made-up ones and 3 kits. The kits are going to Neil Walker from Bury St Edmunds in Suffolk. Well done, Neil. Jonathan Milton gets a paper organ kit. He lives in Sheffield. Well done. And also Hayley Cullen from Somerset gets one as well. And the made-up ones are going to Kaylee Stevenson, who lives in Beverley Road in Hull, and somebody who hasn't told us what their name is, but has sent us a marvellous picture of the paper organ, and we know that you live in Aberdeen in Scotland, so if that's your picture, you'll be receiving one of our made-up paper organs in the post.
Well done to you lot. Now, also last week, Jamie Adicott was in, and he launched National Workout Day. Well, I'm very pleased to say he's left us 50 of the grunt videos, so you can get fit with Jamie. There's the video there. Now, we've got a little clip of exactly what this video is all about. Jamie marching up and down. You can be doing it too if you're one of the first 50 who give us a call. You can get fit if you ring this number, 0622 60 0000. That's 0622 60 0000, and the first 50 will receive the videos. Now, just to remind you again, National Workout Day is February the 15th. Jamie Adicott will be down here with numerous stars and 1,000 people. Now, if you want to be one of the 1,000, this is what you have to do. We want your name and your address, and we also need the name of the group organiser. Now, that could be a scout leader, a parent or a teacher, and we need their telephone number, the organiser's telephone number. We also need to know the number of people in the group. Now, minimum of 30 people, and you have to make your way down here to Maidstone in Kent. You have to make your own way down here. That's minimum of 30 people on the 15th of February. OK, now get that off to Workout, Motormouth, PO Box 1, Maidstone, Kent, ME14 5LL. That's Workout Day at the usual Motormouth address.
And this is Becky McCready from Reading's study of a grey squirrel and a chaffinch. She's the winner of our... Oh, there it is. Very nice too. She's the winner... I don't know why I'm standing up. Look at that. She's got it up there electronically. Brilliant. And she's the winner of our Tony Shepherd's Wildlife Cameraman competition. She'll be coming with Tony and myself in a couple of weeks' time to make a wildlife film. And we'll take the Motormouth crew along to make a wildlife film of us making a wildlife film. Does that make sense?
Just about, yes. Andrew
Well done,
Buchan was in the studio last week, the international travelling artist, who at the moment is in the Himalayas, because that's where he's gone today. But he made a collage at his day at Motormouth, and we want to give this away to a charity. You can then auction it and raise money for your charity. You must be an organised group, and you must tell us in 50 words or less why you think you should have that collage, OK? So we need the name of the organisation that you're in, the name of the charity that you're raising money for, and in 50 words or less, why you should think you should have Andrew Hukin's collage, which is worth about £3,500. You look good in that door there, mate, Steve.
Yeah, well, I was thinking of having it turned into a suit, actually. What do you reckon?
I think it's suits you.
It is time. It is time to unite the workforce. It is time to make ourselves heard, to speak out. It is time to... What is the time? Better get a move on, I'll get a move on. OK, it is not about wage cuts. It is about wage cuts. Yes? Yes? Well, what's happened to our meeting? It's gone to the toilet.
Oh, well, I can't stand about here freezing. I've got to get ready for this wedding.
Well, I think we should face it. The strike's a dud. We're not getting our message across.
Oh, well, what are we going to do?
I know, I've got it. What we'll do is this. Your hair and then your nails.
Look, Max, you've just got to get it sorted out, right? We're doing a live telly programme. Sort it out, mate.
I've done everything I can.
Tell him.
I'd like to think you could do something about the picket line that is outside reception at the moment, and the fact that one of my co-presenters is at the moment chained to the studio door.
You know, you two should be grateful to me. I have saved this show in the face of a possible disaster by finding an alternative workforce. Yes, the donuts are just there, Dylan, thank you. Now, they're the ones you should be talking to, those outside. Striking is the lowest form of protest. It's anachronistic and ineffective.
Tell him. Just tell him.
You might have an answer for everything, but nobody likes you, Max.
But listen, what actually are you doing here? I don't understand.
Waiting for Max. He owes us some money.
But why? I don't understand any of this. Well, where is it?
Sorry, Gabby.
Oh, OK.
Right, pay time, everybody. Jolly good. Now, we did say £5, did we not? Yes, that's what I said, £5.
Oh,
10. You can't have 10.
We want 10. We want 10.
Look, this is all a... Hey, but that's absolute extortion. Oh, no. I'm £20 a week worse off. I suppose you think that's funny. you nosy little twerp.
So what do you think about the Labour Party's policy on nuclear disarmament?
No, Juliet, they usually ask you where you're going for your holidays.
Oh, yes, sorry.
Now, what do you think? Champagne Boulevard, Peach Melba.
Oh, no, I think Pineapple Frenzy, don't you?
Pineapple Frenzy. Paul, what do you think?
Very nice.
Oh, thanks a lot.
I'm sorry, I just don't like the fact that Max has gotten away with this scot-free, and I don't like the peach with that dress.
Oh, don't listen to him, Millie. He's got absolutely no taste.
I had an idea, though.
I know. Tropical blancmange.
No, about Max.
Yeah?
Well, I thought of a way we could really screw him to the wall, but... Oh, I don't know. It's such a low-down, conniving, mean, dirty trick. I don't think we can
do it.
Okay.
What do you mean, mistake? Well, what sort of idiot gets increase and decrease mixed up? But I've proved invaluable. Everyone's gone back to work! There's every reason to shout. What's your name? All right, then, Veronica. You'll be hearing from me. Oh, yes, you will. And, in the meantime, oh, yes, in the meantime, I'm going to consider what action I'm going to take.
Is that all right?
That's fantastic, Veronica. Convincing.
Oh, thanks a lot.
No problem, anytime, but I really gotta go.
Okay. Well, good luck.
Thanks.
See you
luck.
later.
See you later. Oh, well, that's put a smile on my face.
It's a bit of a turn-up for the books.
Max, I didn't know he had it in him.
He's going to go mad when he finds out.
When do you think we should tell him?
Oh, leave it till Monday.
No, Juliet, we can't do that.
Unfair.
Leave it a month.
Unfair. Unfair. It's unfair, isn't it?
Yes.
Unfair. Let them see your face. Unfair. Oh, this isn't working. Look. Oh, I've got an idea. Right. You be Tiny Tim. Okay. There we go. Wife and 7 kids to support! Wife and 7 kids to support!
Last summer, I took a short break in one of my most favourite parts of the world, the West Highlands of Scotland. And while I was up there, I went to Oban Sea Life Centre, which I thought was absolutely brilliant. And the day that I got home, Terry Nuckins phoned me up from Scotland, and he said, "Hey, Neil, how'd you fancy coming up to Oban Sea Life Centre to make a film?" So I jumped at the chance. I got the Motormouth camera crew together, I got all my gear, I got well packed up, and then I caught a cold. So I couldn't go. So Terry had to go on his own, and while he was there, he saw the rehabilitation of seals.
We're all very much aware of what's been happening to our tropical rainforest by way of destruction. But how many of you out there are aware of what's been happening to our oceans, especially around our own coastline? Now, for many years now, we've been bombarding it with sewerage and chemicals, and that can't go on. Out there, there's an abundance of marine life, an abundance of wildlife, and the only way to appreciate it is to get close to it. It's an impressive thought when you realise that just a few hundred yards off our shores, a new world begins. New, that is, only to our eyes because it has existed for millions of years. The endless horizons of the ocean floor stretching back even to the origins of mankind. It is a world full of fantastic wildlife in a rich diversity of almost unbelievable beauty and gracefulness. But just in a few short years, a process of destruction has begun, and man, in his greed and ignorance, is threatening the once timeless world of the sea. Around Britain, it is the common seal that is bearing the brunt of the onslaught. Pollution of its habitat by industrial waste, overfishing of its food, and even the apparently innocent practice of fish farming brings the common seal into conflict with man. If they're lucky, the injured seals or orphaned pups are found and brought to places like this, the Oban Sea Life Centre, where they have initiated a project to nurse them back to health and release them back into their habitat. I met Terry Donovan, who manages the project, as she prepared a meal for some of the seals. Shove these in here. Now, these fish are frozen fish, aren't they?
That's right, yeah.
So you need these added vitamins, because a lot of the vitamins get lost, don't they, when you freeze fish?
That's right, so we have to build up the extra. We also give them iron tablets because that's something we find they become, you know, they're lacking in this situation, so we give them the extra iron.
Yeah, so this, I mean, this one is very important.
Yeah.
We've got to get it in. So which one will eat this straight away?
I think the mother, Gia, should
mother.
come across for that. She's on her way across.
Come on,
there.
Gia, come over.
She's usually very eager at this time of night.
She is, isn't she? It's great. Look at that. Oh, right.
Gia's been here 8 years. She's one of the original seals that we had here.
Yeah.
And just 3 weeks ago, she gave birth to that young pup.
Oh, really? What, she gave birth here?
Yes, it's the first time we've ever had a pup born here.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Fantastic. So when will these be released? These two little ones here?
Well, the little pup is still feeding from her mother, and she will continue to do so for 4 or 5 weeks. So she's 3 weeks old now. So another week or two, and she'll be independent from her mother at that stage.
Yeah.
And at that stage, we'll make sure she's weaned onto fish, and then she'll be released when she's ready,
So,
a month or so.
In fact, what you do is you actually build their weight up, build their blubber up before you actually release them back into the wild.
That's right.
I know in some instances people have actually put live fish in with seals before they put them back into the wild. Do you do that here?
Yes, we do.
You do?
It is something we do, just before they go back. Sometimes to encourage them to feed, and sometimes just to make sure the instinct's there. You know, if they chase the fish, once they get a bit hungry, you feel certain they'll start hunting for themselves.
Yeah. Well, they're being very patient. Let's come on. Oh, we've got to come up higher than that. These two pups are orphans, and for their stay at the centre, they have been named Laurel and Hardy. Now, Laurel was found wandering after her mother was killed, and Terry believes Hardy's mother may have been scared off by the sonar devices employed by fish farmers to track wild seals, leaving the pup to fend for itself. They're fed regularly and spend the rest of their time in the small pool before joining the older seals prior to release back into the sea. Terry gave Laurel her breakfast. The fish swallowed whole as it would be in the wild. I wasn't having a lot of luck with Hardy, who, like most orphan seals, was having difficulty in feeding. Oh, you're nearly there. And they put on weight very quickly. But Laurel was obviously famished.
Put on a kilo in a few days once they're feeding very well.
Oh. There we go. I wondered if Hardy's appetite might improve after a swim. The pups are accomplished swimmers from birth and far happier in water where they swim effortlessly with already powerful limbs. There, show everyone your face, look. And look at that. They're really, as I said, really well adapted to diving. You can see at the side here, they've got these tiny little ear slits which close up when they go under the water. And they've got these wonderful, wonderful big whiskers, and they use them constantly when they're diving in deep, murky water for finding fish. Now, they can dive to depths of 17 meters, and that is incredible. Within an hour or so of being born, they can dive well and they can swim well. And they need to, because they have to survive in a very harsh element, the sea. Seals belong in the sea, and it was there Terry took me to see if we could catch a glimpse of wild seals in their natural but threatened habitat. After a couple of hours of careful looking, we eventually found a small colony in a quiet rocky outcrop jutting out into the wilds of the Atlantic Ocean. This is really fantastic because we've been sailing for about an hour and a half and we've got really close to them now, haven't we? Isn't that super? There's about, what, 5 there?
Yeah, one of them's a young one. Back.
A young one at the top there, and we're literally only about 100 yards away from them. They're very tame, aren't they?
They seem to be. They're just watching.
Yeah. Any moment now, they're actually going to get down into the water, and we'll miss them, but at the moment they're staying very tame and very relaxed. Now, this area didn't suffer so much with the virus, did it?
That's right. It seemed to hop from the Orkneys around to the Irish Sea. Just jumped this area.
Yeah.
A few deaths.
So what, about 300 or so?
About 300, yeah.
Yeah.
That's reported.
Oh, this is great. Just look at that, isn't it? Oh, lovely. They're beautiful, aren't they?
You can see the young one just poking up from the back there.
It's from the back there, yeah. Wow.
very pleased to say that the two of them are doing very well and they should be released in the spring, so that's good news. Now it's time to see the before and afters. Trevor, you've done wonderful jobs with all of them. Let's just have a look, first of all, at the before of Jenny. That's what she was like before, and if we can reveal the after, that's the length of her hair. It looks absolutely beautiful. That looks wonderful. Are you pleased with it?
Yeah.
Yeah, by that big smile on her face, I think you can tell. Trevor, it looks great there.
Thank you.
OK, next up, the famous Trevor Sorby Scrunch Dry. Donna, let's have a look at the before, first of all. There you were before, and now let's reveal the after. That is beautiful. It looks like you've got so much more hair. Are you pleased with it?
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to get a no. You're a hit, you're a hit. Right, next up we've got Daniela. Now, you've actually gone for the perm here, right? Let's have a look at the before. Very, very straight hair. She wasn't pleased with it. She thought it was boring. Now, nice curly head of hair. You pleased with that one?
Yeah.
Yeah? Looks good, doesn't it? But that was a perm.
Yes.
That was a specially done perm, and you've got to be careful. We've got to reiterate that.
Absolutely, only done in salons.
Right, OK. But you can always go along to a salon to ask advice, though, can't
Yes, you can always go in for a consultation and ask what they think if your hair's up to having any chemical treatment.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
OK, Jude, let's have a look at the before of Jude. Incredibly curly hair, smiling away there. OK, let's have a reveal of the after. I like that. You can sort of stroke your hand through his hair. Do you like it? You pleased with it?
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, that's
better than I
good.
thought it'd be.
Yeah. Oh, there we are. Better than he thought it would be. OK, and last up, I'm very pleased to say we have Julia Roberts in the studio. First up, let's have a look at her before. Christina before, and afterwards it is now Julia Roberts. Christina, it looks beautiful. You pleased with that?
I'm very pleased.
It's a nice red colour, and also the famous scrunch dry. Trevor, thank you very much for joining us this morning. They all look wonderful, and you got a thumbs up from everybody.
Great.
And congratulations on Hairdresser of the Year.
Thank
and
you.
also Becky, Antoinette and Johnny, thank you very much, because I know it was all your hard work. Now also, we met Simon earlier on this morning, and Simon was going to put extensions into people's hair. And first of all, Bethany. Now, Bethany had shoulder-length hair. Bethany, if you could turn round, that is quite incredible. She had shoulder-length hair, and now she's got full-length hair. Now, the colour is amazing. Are you pleased with the colour?
Yeah, I think it's wonderful. Amazing match.
Yeah. Well, have a sit down again. We also got to thank Hava and Tina for all their hard work. But, again, let's go back to extensions. Are they difficult to take out?
No, they're very easy. All you do is, where the extensions are on the head, you just twist the seal, that little seal that was made with the C2, with the heat, and it unravels the extension. You can slide it off your natural hair.
And again, it doesn't damage the hair?
Absolutely not.
Right, well, let's have a look at some other things that you can do with hair extensions. I'm just going to pop that down there. Right, first up, we've got some dreadlocks. If you could stand up and give us the 12.
Right, this is Andre, and this is very popular. It's kind of come back again from the early 80s, but it's more of a commercial view of it now, so it's shorter, a bit neater than it used to be years ago.
And again, you can keep this clean. You can wash your hair quite easily.
Shampoo your hair, yeah.
Like normal.
Like normal.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thanks, Andre.
Next up, we've got, this is beautiful. I absolutely love this
This is
one.
Mitzi. Now, the idea of this is just to decorate the surface. She has naturally long hair.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've got lovely long hair, and it's just to decorate the surface of the hairstyle and give it another dimension.
And it's plaits and curls
and beaded textures and twists as well.
We
So
have
there's lots of
there
different
we are,
things.
got a close-up of that. Really delicate work. Thank you very much. And
Thanks, Mitzi.
last up,
well,
this
is-
one I actually don't believe.
This
Don't
is-
believe this is extension.
This is Spot the Monofiber, okay? What we've done here is we've just used it for colour.
Yeah.
So we've scattered tiny, I mean, I can hardly find them actually, but they're in here. There's one.
Looks wonderful.
Tiny little extensions, which just, it just punches up the colour, so she's got the vibrant colour in her hair.
It's wonderful. Thank you very much. Now, you've actually done a few celebrities' hair, haven't you?
Yes, I mean, there's people like Kate Bush and Carly Simon who go for the longer things, and then the more extreme looks on Annie Lennox. We've done Princess Stephanie of Monaco.
Oh,
I mean,
all is revealed
so
here
even
on
royalty,
Motormouth.
even royalty.
Now, also, so you said before that you've got to be very careful with extensions. It's not a case of just gluing hair to hair, is it?
No, that's right. I mean, the thing about it is that there is second-hand hair and there is glue. So be careful when you're out there looking for a salon. Look for a salon that's doing monofiber, not second-hand hair and glue. They'll glue it in your head, and that leaves
Not good for hair at all.
all sorts of problems. This you take out whenever you like.
Right.
Stays in as long as you want. You shampoo it. You live with it like your own hair.
And it's not damaging. Thank you very much, Simon.
My
Thank you so
pleasure,
much for
Karen.
coming in. Now, if you do want more
so
information on where you can get extensions and on hair care products, well, we have got a fact pack to give away. We have also got this to give away in a competition. It's all hair care products. Now, if you know how long hair grows on average per month, write it down on a postcard. We want to know how long does your hair grow on average per month. You can win this. You can also get the hair care fact sheet with all the information that we've given you this morning. Send it in to Hair Care Motormouth Competition, PO Box 1, Maidstone, Kent, ME14 5LL. Hairdo Hamper Competition, Motormouth, PO Box 1, Maidstone, Kent, ME14 5LL. My mouth's exhausted. It's the end of the show. Guys.
Thank you. And from a man who's had the same hairstyle for about 10 years, I suppose it could do with... Yes, doing something with Trevor Sorby's. Listen, join us next week for another Motormouth at 9:25, where you can find out how you can get involved in the Duracell Young Inventors competition.
And next week, yes, we'll have to sweep the floors very clean because we've got foxes all over the place and owls. Loads of animals in the studio next week.
Brilliant.
And we are going to be teasing you, teasing your eyes with optical illusions next week.
Spooky gaps.
I'll be off this door and I'll be seen with John Major, Maggie Thatcher, Madonna, Rocky,
Steve.
Schwarzenegger.
Steve, what? You won't be off the door unless I give you the key to the handcuffs, which I've actually got at the moment. We'll see you next week at 9:25. I'll leave you with Boy Crazy. My knees are going wobbly. Bye!
Tonight, it's a warmer climate on ITV, with Malibu Beach feeling the heat as the sun and surf spot becomes a hideaway for criminals.
Let's contact the Harbor Patrol and the Coast Guard and get a list of all the boats that they've stopped recently.
A search that could endanger Baywatch.
It says in this book that some dreams are premonitions, like warnings not to do stuff.
I'm not going to get run down by a jet ski. Trust me.
The thrill of the chase. New Baywatch tonight.
What's the buzz on 10 sharp? I'll tell you. New Spitting Image, new Image Rugby, new toys, new year, Chinese style. Old Dudley Moore and Buzz Buzz, voice of the Beehive.
And there's a double helping of Pat Sharp's company this weekend. You can join him at 2 tomorrow afternoon when he's back with Batman and WCW Pro Wrestling in Sharp's Fun Day. Back to This Morning now, and next we've an hour of non-stop stereo rock in the ITV Chart Show.